No. Okay, so Maggie, welcome to Home with Friends.
Thanks, girl.
Yes, you're welcome. I wanted to tell you, I really appreciate you coming. I was a little intimidated to reach out to you, and I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like when I DM'd you, I was just like a little intimidated, and when you said you'd come on, I was like, oh, I feel honored.
Okay, I've known you for like...
I know. I don't know why I felt that way, but I really did.
Oh, that's
I know.
sweet.
Okay, so we know each other through, of course, just insanely large network of Syracuse, New York.
Yep.
And then the one and only Sarah McDermott.
Of course.
If you know her, you love her.
Yes.
I mean, for a long time. How long have you been in Charlotte? I've been here 11 years.
I've been here 12.
Okay, so yeah.
Going on 13, I think, yeah.
Gotcha,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Been a long time. Okay,
Yes.
So for those that don't know you, you
Yes.
are an incredibly talented interior designer.
Very sweet.
You own and run Crandall Haus.
Yep.
That's your interior design company.
Yep.
And that's where I want to start with
Okay.
you. Okay. So you've been in the design space for about 15 years, and you
Yeah.
specialize in new construction and custom interiors?
Yes, mostly, I mean, we do all sorts of projects, but a lot of times it's new construction or renovations. We do like furnishing projects too, one-offs, but I'd say like 80% is new construction.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So what inspired you to start your own company, your own business, and what were you doing prior?
So, well, after I graduated, it was like recession kind of still. So it was hard to get into a firm, especially in Charlotte. Like the design kind of world is super tight. It's a little different now, but people weren't like posting on Indeed that they were hiring. And you kind of had to just know people. And being from New York, I knew nobody when we moved.
Yeah.
So I worked at a furniture store that was like terrible. It was like for old people. It doesn't exist anymore. But it was like ornate, like castle vibe. Like it was not good. And so then I got a job at Stark Carpet. I worked on the designer side, and the thought was I could meet somebody and kind of like meet a firm or like somehow get into the design network that way.
Okay.
And then that's exactly what happened. I worked there for a little under a year, and I met my old boss who owns Lucy & Company, and I worked there for about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you decide to go on your own?
2017-ish.
Were you obviously starting your own business is a huge deal.
Yes.
So were you scared? What was that? How long did it take you to actually make the move? What inspired it?
I feel like I've definitely always wanted to own my own business. Like my dad owns his own business. I've just always pictured that for me. Of course, you need to like learn from Beth's like super talented. So I felt like I had learned a lot from her, and then I was ready to move on. But it is definitely like a huge risk, and
I think having a parent or even just growing up around entrepreneurs or people that own their own business actually makes a huge difference. Because I'm finding like a lot of my friends that are doing their own things, their parents did that.
Right, yeah.
You know?
And, like first my dad was like, you have a good job. Are you sure about this? I'm like, well, yeah, but there's so much more that you can do. And there's, like, I hate to say, like, when you're, like, a creative, I also feel like you want, like, ownership of your stuff. So I had a lot of freedom at my old firm, but it never, like, was mine, I guess. So that was a big part of, like, I want to, like, expand and do other things. And being on the creative side, you really want to be like, well, that's mine, or, like... not in like,
you're proud of your work. It's
right.
It's not prideful in a negative way. It's just like being proud of what you're doing. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Do my legs look weird? I wonder.
You can like see yourself on there.
I can't tell. Okay.
I know. How would you describe your style?
I feel like transitional, maybe like eclectic, less Southern than a lot down here, which I appreciate all different styles. I just tend to do less like florals and things like that. More blacks and whites, kind of like a fresher, brighter look.
Yeah. Do you think I think your stuff is edgy, like in a great way.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Like I think it's so unique.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I love it. It's really so different.
Well, it's all, of course, like I get to work on amazing projects. So a lot of that is I have clients who are open to really cool stuff. I have like awesome builders that I work with that like allow me to do this type of stuff and are like open to my ideas versus somebody being like, we're doing a spec house. Like XYZ. But yeah, I don't want to be trendy, but like in my own personal style too, I feel like I would rather have something like a little bit edgy to it that doesn't make it like super trendy, but still like a little different.
Of course. Because like even with fashion, trends like are in and out. Like what's your favorite and least favorite trend right now? Interior design.
Okay. Color drenching people like are super into. So that's like painting everything one color.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love that too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
so
said
good.
love that.
Yeah. What is one that I don't like? I mean, everybody says like gray is out. It is.
Like a gray wall.
Yes. But I feel like that puts like, it's not out. Just because you have gray walls doesn't mean your house is out of style. Like I had a client the other day be like, I saw you said like gray is out. I'm like, but it's not. You can work like bring like you have gray walls, but you have like warm leather sofas, like
and
warm
textures
it up. Exactly.
And things. Right.
So I guess gray is out, but
hey, we'll run with it. Yeah. And I think at least for me, when I've watched your journey from the beginning, but I didn't realize like how much you actually did as the interior designer when it came to being there basically from day one of these new builds.
Yeah.
So like, what are some things you do that the average person wouldn't realize you do as the interior designer?
I mean, with us, I would say, again, like we're lucky to have these clients who are like super trusting and they're like, we've seen your other projects, or we have like, know you have a vision. And they really let me choose like just about everything. So we're doing like interior door handles, hinges on everything, all like crown molding, baseboards, like all of that is chosen by us too. It's not just like, I want to paint these blue, or, you know, what we draw all the cabinets conceptually as well. So if like we have a kitchen, like we'll draw it in-house 3D, but we really like come up with a concept for the house.
Because I feel like even, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're even part of like maybe an archway or the way this shower is going to be designed.
Yeah, for sure. So they have their own architectural firm usually, and then we'll do something we call like red line the plans with them. So after they're almost done, we'll sit down and go through and exactly like, oh, let's change this to an arch, or let's make this a double-sided fireplace. So we are involved really, really from the beginning, especially like if you want do you want a king-size bed and a huge nightstand? Like you need to make this wall bigger, like that kind of stuff that the architects don't ask sometimes because there's so many other things that they're thinking through. So we go from the beginning, and then, you know, we pick the roof color, we pick all exterior colors. We're doing stone, brick, like we do all of that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. How many people are on your team? Like I assume that you have almost like a go-to person for everything, or do you just have a contractor and they hire out? Like who's on your actual team?
Sure. We, it's just me and another girl.
Okay.
In the office. And then we have a social team too that does all that.
Okay.
And then we have builders that we partner with that also have their own staff. So like if we're working with a builder, then they have a selections coordinator. So like we'll work with the selections coordinator. So we'll give her like our stuff, and then she'll order it or put it into their process system. If we're doing like a smaller renovation, we have some people that, you know, we suggest or whatnot.
Right.
But we don't run like any projects in-house. So we are not like bringing somebody out to demo something and then bringing another person out to paint or anything like that.
Gotcha. How early on should a home buyer get you involved in the design plans? Like let's say they meet with a builder, they go under contract. When should they bring you in?
As early as possible.
As early as possible?
For sure.
Okay. How many projects are you working on at once?
It varies for sure. I think for like the new construction, we probably have maybe like 4 like builds or renovations going on at once, and then smaller furnishings, or, you know, we'll do like a living room, kitchen, dining room, like that kind of stuff, anywhere from like 5 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure like how, I didn't know how big your team was, how much you guys were doing. Okay, so summarize a typical timeline for me. Like if I'm going to come hire you,
sure,
I sit down with you, I'm hiring you. Like what does it look like? How often are we meeting?
So we meet on site. If we're just doing like, if we were going to redo this room, we would meet here I take measurements, we talk through what you want, and then we say like 2 to 3 week turnaround time for the design. And you come in, office.
Where is your office?
It's next to the stadium.
Oh yeah, I'm right there. I'm in.
You are?
I'm in Cedar West.
Where?
Like literally on the 3rd floor, across from Clutch.
No, I'm next to Clutch.
Wait, this is crazy.
Like I share a wall with Clutch. Like,
oh my God, yeah, I'm literally right next to you. Okay, so typical timeline. We meet on site, then maybe 2 to 3 week turnaround for design.
Yep, come into the office. We have like samples laid out. We'll put the design board up on the screen. We'll go through it. And then if we have revisions, we'll do the revisions. Either send them PDF or have you come back out. And then once it's confirmed, we price everything. And we order everything too. We install, we do all of that. You know, we have like wallpaper people, drapery installer, like we have all those people and we only use like the same people basically.
Is that sourcing? Like when you're going out and getting things?
And we source from all different places, right? So we have like trade accounts that we source from. So when you're sourcing directly from a vendor, you can't usually get it shipped like to your house unless you have like a lift gate or something like that. So we send to a receiver, and that way, because we're usually doing at least a room, right? So there's 10, 15, 20 pieces. We send it to a receiver and then they deliver it and install. Okay. So if let's say we order from like Four Hands, they ship from Austin, Texas. They ship on a LTL, like big truck. They'll go to the receiver, drop it off. They inspect it and hold it.
I see.
And then like we could order from CB2 and get it delivered there too. We wouldn't really do that, but order from Stark, get that sent there. And then that way they can just deliver everything. In a dream world, it would be like, oh, we're delivering everything at once, but there's always back orders and things like that.
Right. Okay, gotcha. So there's a lot of steps, to say the least.
Yes.
What's your favorite part of the job?
I think obviously designing. Like I really like to design the stuff myself. There's a lot of different structures people have for their firms, and it's important for me if I need to hire another person or, you know, get some more support staff so I can be the one designing, because that's the whole reason why I got into it, and I like love it. So obviously designing, and then I just get to meet like a ton of awesome people.
Yeah. What is building? I mean, you've been in it for a long time now, but like if you take yourself back to the early days, how were you building clientele? Like how were you marketing yourself? Because social media wasn't what it was at that point. Like when we moved here, we were using it. It was dumb. Like, we weren't using it to promote a business.
Picture of like what you ate or whatever.
Yeah, like literally your coffee, like pictures of exactly.
I really just was lucky and got a awesome client to kind of start me out.
Is it word of mouth? Would you say it's just like a lot of word of mouth at first? Yeah.
And again, I had like an awesome client who really like promoted me and would like, oh, I gave your number to this person, and they're amazing people, and they would just tell their friends about me. And
that's the best way to do it. And you build a really good reputation. So I just had on my friend who does makeup, Caitlin. And what was interesting, I feel like it's similar in the sense where she's like, you know, unlike a hairstylist or an esthetician who has a repeat clientele that's coming every 8 weeks, whatever, I have to constantly get new clients. You're not getting your makeup done once a month.
Right.
I feel like it has to be similar for you. Sure, you might, even if you do an entire house, once that person's in the home and they're settled, they're probably not doing a full renovation for a very long time.
Yeah.
So are you finding yourself having to like always get new clients? Like, today, how are you really marketing yourself?
I'd say just social media for sure. Yeah.
Is Instagram your biggest platform?
Yeah. Yeah. We hired a new company to do it, and I would like cringe factor a million. Like would never want to ever even be in front of the camera. Like,
really?
My photographer who like shoots for us, she was like, the first time I met you, I thought you were like 55. And like I walked in and you were like young and pregnant. She's like, I had no idea what you looked like because you refused to ever like.
Oh, you just weren't on your social at all.
No, because that's like
I hate that. I get it.
I have a new young girl who's like, do this, and I just was like, I will do whatever. If you think it's good, I will lean into it and do it. Though it's like I don't watch half of the stuff because I'm like,
I know.
my voice, just like everything.
I know.
But she does a good job.
The cringe factor is so real. It's so real. But I think you're doing a great job. And like I said, I've noticed that the social content has been more consistent, which is great.
That is the key.
It's just so powerful, and it is key. And I feel like it is important to just lean into it.
Yeah.
And like you need to showcase your work. It's so good.
Oh my gosh,
like I can't wait for people to watch this and then go to your Instagram. Because they're going to be like, whoa. Yeah. So being in the design industry and homeowners bringing you in from the beginning, how does your career overlap with real estate agents? Does it at all? It's not like, there's not a ton of overlap?
Yeah, not a ton of overlap. For me, personally. I think probably a lot of designers have that, but
okay.
I don't.
So what design choices can directly impact someone's real estate investment?
I'm not a real estate expert at all.
And this is just,
But
listen, it's sure. Fine.
I would say like, unfortunately, because I love like funky tile, but I feel like tile could deter people if you did a bathroom that was just like 100% your style. If you like loved pink and black and you did like the whole primary like pink and black tile, that's like super expensive to change. So
right, okay.
That I think could...
So that could maybe like deter it. Is there anything that you think really like will elevate the investment?
I mean, a kitchen for sure.
That's where you should put the money in.
Yeah,
like if you were talking to a home buyer, where would you say to save versus splurge?
I would save. Like in the secondary bathrooms, like kid bathrooms, you can do like a super cost-effective tile and like lay it in a funky pattern or something.
So that would be like a save.
Save there, yeah.
Okay.
And then in the primary, do like the heated floors, do the heated towel rack, stuff like that.
I didn't even think of a heated floor.
Oh, yes, girl.
Wow. Yeah. Is that common these days?
Yeah. I mean,
wow. How
for
luxurious.
some people.
Yeah.
I don't have heated floors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like primary, bathroom, 100%, and then kitchen, like scullery.
Yeah. To get into the finance side of it, how much should someone listen, of course there's going to be a range, right? It's hard to just come up with a number, but like how much should someone really expect to pay for interior design when building?
That's one of the most frustrating things. No one has like a consistent kind of like bill process for new construction. So some people charge hourly, some people do flat rate fee based off of kind of the square footage of the home. Like I do flat rate fee based on the scope. So we do like estimated hours for like all of our new construction selections, and then that's our flat fee versus like billing hourly.
Okay.
So it really just depends, honestly.
Is it like, how does the payment work? Does someone pay a deposit and then when the project's finished, they're paying it in full?
Yes. So we do 50% design fee up front and then 50% due when the design is done.
Okay. And then if someone has a budget.
Yep.
Now, is it your job / responsibility to try to shop within that budget?
Yes. But a lot of times the budgets aren't solid on the build side. So like...
give me an example.
If someone's trying to build a house and they're in negotiation with the builder, really the only places builder can cut are like allowances, which are what I shop for. So like lighting, plumbing, tile, because all of those are like fluid in what the client chooses. So if you're trying to bring the price down, they're going to cut those first versus like you can't cut the framing package for the wood and stuff like that. Right. So if we're then going to shop and we don't have an adequate budget for what the client wants, then that can cause some issues. But I really work with like the same builders now, and like they put like the correct amounts, and we'll meet with the client and say like, do you want crazy expensive lights? Then we'll budget for that. Or are you good with like splurging and trying to save here and there? So if you get ahead of it, then it works out fine. But
okay. And when starting your company, how long did it take for your business to become profitable?
I worked out of my house, honestly, so it was probably profitable
like pretty quickly.
Like first like month or two.
Wow, okay. Because you didn't have any overhead.
No overhead, no.
Nice. And did you feel imposter syndrome when starting, in the sense of just like having to have some of those like big budget conversations?
I mean, I still do.
I am.
Wait,
tell me how you feel.
I'm still like, why am I doing your house? Like, how am I me? You want me to do it? Like, I'm still surprised when people...
Wow, isn't that so funny? And it's like you have so many years of experience.
Yeah.
You have so much, like, so many successful projects under your belt and you still feel that way.
Yeah.
It's just so real.
I think too, you're obviously your own worst critic, but when you're doing something on the creative side, you just like oh, I could have done this, or you really are just the biggest critic of your work, kind of.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm always like, why are you wanting me to do your? I mean, I'm thrilled, but like,
yeah. How do you deal with that?
Well, it's almost like when you become like a parent. I'm like, I'm like, how are these two boys my like kids? I still feel I'm like 25, but then I'm like, girl, you're like old as hell. So when I'm like going to these job sites, I'm like, oh, they're hiring this young girl. Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you're like old now.
People like, you're the respected one in the room. Right. Like what you say goes.
Yes. And I still think of myself like,
yeah. You know what? I think there's a healthy dose of that. It like keeps you humble.
Yeah.
But then it's like you should have some confidence in there as well, which obviously it does exist.
Yes, for sure. Sure.
Okay, so if you're comfortable talking about it, what is the most you've ever been paid for one project?
Well, I'm more comfortable saying like what was like my biggest, I guess, budget.
Sure.
Great. Yeah, because that's like the client spend. So not what they're paying me, but more so what they're paying for all the goods.
Okay.
So it'd be like $275.
Wow.
Would be like the project total.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's on top of their house that they're buying.
Right. Yeah.
And this is before they're even in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So have you always been a creative since you were a kid?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. So you already mentioned that your two boys. How old are they?
4 and 3.
4 and 3.
Yeah.
So as a mom of 2 boys, are you seeing any signs that one or both of them are going to follow in your like creative footsteps?
I don't know. They're both just boys, like like monster trucks, just very into that right now.
What do they think you do for work? I always think that's so funny.
They know I help people with houses. So if I'm like working from home and they're like, is that your office? Whose house is that? Or like I'll bring them sometimes to like people's houses and they're like, I love this house. Like they're very, I think, more in tune to like stuff like that. You know, we'll like drive by house and they're like, that house is awesome.
Oh, cool.
But yes, they love to come to my office. I have lots of candy. I have a TV. They can watch your shows. Yeah, they're the best.
So how has being a mom influenced the way you design homes for other families with kids?
Like kitchen.
What's a must-have?
Like a vinyl or a faux leather on like a banquette or something that you can like Windex like spaghetti sauce off of. Or usually I'm like, you probably don't need a rug underneath your table for like 5 years until your kids like stop being gross. Yeah, like sharp corners if they have like little kids. Try not to do like a coffee table with like this, like impale somebody. Yep. But yeah.
Do you ever feel like women are underestimated in the real estate or construction world?
No, I never feel like people don't respect what I have to say because I have been doing it for a while and
you've built yourself a good reputation. Yeah. Good. Are there any local like female-owned businesses that you love and want to shout out?
Yeah. Slate Interiors is my favorite for vintage stuff. It's on the west side.
I know exactly where that is. Is it all vintage?
It's like curated goods. So they have different vendors that kind of bring stuff in. A lot of it is vintage. There's like some original artwork. Cool. Really good rugs. So yeah, love those.
So what are your long-term goals?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think my poor dad is like my business advisor, and he doesn't want to be. He's like,
what kind of business does he run?
He does a financial.
Okay, so
advising. Completely different. But I mean, when you own your own business, there's a lot of similarities.
Yes.
So, because I think, like you said, if I'm doing somebody's house, like they're not coming back to me for years, or we're taking a break and doing phase 2 or whatnot. So that is always in the back of your mind. And even my old firm and just some people that I still like work with who own a furniture company or all different aspects, they're like, you never know. Like any month you could be like, oh, I don't have anything. Though that's never really going to happen usually if you're like staying on it. But it's always like in the back of your head. Mm-hmm. So yeah, with my dad, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to like get more girls or guys under me or have a bigger team or do I want to stay small? Like, and he's like, well, you have to make the decision. Like, I don't know. So I do go back and forth with that a lot. I think for me, like I said, I want to do the design. So keeping it smaller, I think, is like the best decision for me. I like to have like,
because you can be really hands-on.
Yeah. And like I have my office. It's not huge. There's room for a few more people if we want to. And then I would love to do like a wallpaper collection, or
do you have like a specific, like a dream collaboration?
I mean, I definitely love wallpaper, but there's a million wallpapers out there. It's very oversaturated. That would be something I would love to do.
I could see that for you.
Yeah.
And I could see it being in like Target.
Right? Let's put that out
yes,
there. Yes.
Crandall Haus via, I don't know the brands.
Threshold or whatever.
Okay, yes.
I have been working on one with somebody that's more like kid focused.
Oh, fun.
Because I think there's...
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Just because there's not a ton out there, and like you can be more fun with it.
Ooh,
so
I feel like you'd be really good at that.
So hopefully we'll have something to show for that soon.
Okay, yay.
Yeah.
Good. We'll have to keep posted on that.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself in Charlotte long term?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. And my parents are part-time here, half in New York, half here.
Oh, that's nice. Do they have a house here that they rent or Airbnb?
They have a house. My mom's here probably more like 75% of the time. And then my dad still works in New York. So he's like back and forth.
When you doing all these projects, do you just have the itch to like redo your stuff all the time?
I am like...
How does that work?
It is terrible because I also like love a million different styles. I think that's great too, that I get to work with all these different people who have different styles. So I'm like, one day I'm moving, the poor builder that I work with, I'm like, hey, can you build me a house? I'm like, just wait. No, I can't afford it. Can you, he's like probably has whiplash and doesn't take me serious. But someday MVP will be building me a house someday.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I was pregnant when we did an addition, and my kids are 14 months apart. So I was pregnant when Wesley was like 6 months old, and it was a surprise to find some space for him. So it's like, all right, we need to do an addition. And I just had like pregnancy brain. I kind of was just like, and Matt and I basically ran it ourselves. So I didn't really do what I wanted. I kind of just like rushed through it and thinking like, oh, we'll move. And then now, like, as you know, like with interest rates, and I'm sure, like, how has that been for you?
Not great. No. I mean, it was like really bad for a minute. I would say we're finally in a place that I feel like I can go in at 8:30 and work till I leave at 5:30. Where like there were days where I was twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah.
You know, when interest rates spiked.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's like pretty consistent. Hopefully, it's like, oh, hopefully rates drop a little bit. Hopefully rates drop a little bit. They haven't. We've been saying that now for a year and a half. I feel like we're going on 2 years of saying that.
Right.
And then random things will happen with like the tariff talk.
Right.
And the next thing you know, rates spike. By the way, did that affect you guys at all?
Oh my gosh, yes. We have like every other week, they're like, we're raising 10%. All of our vendors will send emails. And it sucks because if we already have stuff priced out for people, and I'm not going to go back and be like, hey, I need to adjust all this pricing for you because it was already approved by them. And like
10%'s a lot too. Like when you're talking big numbers.
A lot of it, it's, I don't understand all that.
Yeah, but, no, I know. That's the thing. It's like, I don't even really understand the politics behind mortgages, but it's super influential, which is not fun.
I was thinking about you when I was like, oh, these interest rates.
Yeah. So hopefully this podcast takes off.
Yeah. It will, girl.
I was going to ask you something else, like off the top of my head that I didn't have written down. We were just saying something. How long have you been in your house?
7 years.
Oh, you've been in there 7 years.
Yeah, and we bought it like right after we got married, and I was like, oh, we'll be here for like 3 years, 4 years, because we live like uptown.
Gotcha.
And so we've only ever lived on the west side because we were in Layla Court, and then like with like the crew.
Those
and then,
were the days, Wesley Village days, yeah.
So I never thought we would stay, and then the renovation, getting ready with Ford, and then I was like, let's move, and I mean, we just like can't, and there's nowhere I really want to go right now because I'm so close to the office, and then I really do want to build.
I feel like you have to build now, like just
Right,
with what you do, like you have to build and design your own home.
Right. And like there's some houses out there that I look at and I'm like, it's this much for
I know
that cabinet's from IKEA. Like I just it like
I feel
hurts.
like that's like a double-edged sword for you because you know the quality of what's in the house.
Right. Yeah. It's upsetting when I walk into these and I'm like,
I'm gonna have to take you with me if I ever want to buy a house. Like, tell me, is this actually worth $1.2 million?
Well, it's crazy.
I know.
Like some of these things that people put in, I'm like,
I know.
It's not right.
Is there any advice or anything else you want to say about just starting your own business?
I mean, I would just say like, if you want to do it, then I would do it because you're just never going to be happy if you're working for somebody else. If you have that like desire to kind of do your own thing and feel like pulled to do it, then I would just go for it. It is not easy at all. It's a ton of work. And then I would also say like get like really good people around you, even like friends in the industry. I mean, I think I said it in the beginning. I didn't know anybody in Charlotte, and breaking into the design world is like, it's so hard. It's not a click in a bad way. It's just like, it's clicky. And not like in a negative.
Yeah.
It's just small. And so like everybody knows each other, and it's super hard to kind of get in with like a job even. I mean, I worked for 2 years before I could even get in with
you
my
were at
firm.
the old people of a furniture store.
Exactly. And like I played the long game, was doing rug samples, and my new assistant worked at Stark too. So I was like, it's like full circle. This is perfect.
Yeah, it is.
But just having people to understand what you're going through, because it is a weird, like you do like 14 different jobs.
Right, I know. And I think that's what, as like, again, an outsider who knows nothing looking in, it is so shocking to me when I see everything that you're doing, because it's not the simplest way that I think people think about of an interior designer is like decor and like the interior decor.
Yes.
And it's just not. That's almost like the smallest piece of it.
For sure.
And I've learned that just from like watching your journey.
That's like the last puzzle piece of the project usually is the furniture for us. And, people get excited about it. It's probably like the fun part for people, because you're doing like wallpaper and curtains and stuff like that. But really that comes like way at the end with the new construction stuff. So
cool. So we're going to wrap with a fun question.
Okay.
If you could wake up tomorrow with a completely new skill or talent, no effort required, what is it?
I would love to be like a full-time artist. That would be like you paint. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be like,
I mean, it makes sense. You're
a dream.
creative.
Yeah.
Great. I was thinking like, I want to talk to dead people.
Oh, we're going like that vibe. Like time travel. Time travel.
Time travel. Okay. Yeah. Would you go future or past?
We have to go in the past just to like visit people, but I don't want to know what's about to come. Like I'm good with just there's too much going on. Like I don't need another thing to add to my.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Maggie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.